Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hajime no Ippo, episode 65. Okay. Alright, so we had all the backstory with Aoki and Kimura.
We did
indeed. It was
indeed.
hilarious and wonderful. And now
So
we have prep for a match between Ippo and Sendo. Possibly happening like really soon.
Yeah.
It depends on what Sendo's kind of challenge really means in the grand scheme of things. Because I don't know if it's really that common for the champion to challenge someone who's not within a like other match, like, you know, coming out in public and doing that.
Yep.
But then again, these are two kind of earnest, silly boys, so they you know, they do it in a unique way of doing this, and they're very similar to each other. So I'm interested to see maybe if anything, some conversation or just anything involving not necessarily Sendo and Ippo, but like Sendo just kind of catching up with him and seeing where he's
that would be
these
great
days. So we've got that to look forward to. Earlier we had that scare with Kamogawa for a little bit. So, so now hopefully he's going to be able to train Ippo and hone in this this new technique that he's learned recently.
Dempsey Roll.
The Dempsey Roll. Yes. I'll have that with some ginger and soy sauce.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say.
That sounds pretty good.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if that existed, actually.
I'm pretty sure it would probably because
somewhere.
You know, there's so many different sushi rolls out there. It's ridiculous.
But boxing. Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah. Without further ado, let's jump into it now.
I wonder if, like, someone who really knew about boxing and stuff would be able to tell from the opening when Ippo goes into the Dempsey Roll that was the Dempsey Roll. You know?
Where does he go into the Dempsey Roll in the OP? Let's see.
It's coming up in a bit. Right here, I think, after they go through these character montages.
Okay, it's not. That's him lunging.
Yeah. Right
for
here.
it.
That. Like, would it, like...
I don't know necessarily. I think that. It's actually more the looking of the camera, looking at his body and doing like 3/4 of a figure 8 motion, because it does like the loop and then it comes back and then it cuts away.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't, I mean, maybe you're right, but I don't know. It feels like it would be like veiled just enough that they'd be like, hey, that could be the Dempsey Roll right there. But, yeah. I mean, it's very clear to us now that we've, you know, kind of seen what the Dempsey Roll is. And in the context of Ippo. Oh, that's Psyche, yeah. Whoa, versus Sendo.
Okay.
Dang.
All right.
Wow. 1 round.
Holy crap. I mean, granted, Psyche is not exactly one for taking punches and standing up, but...
Summer of the Kamogawa Corps. Oh, yeah.
Beach episode.
I mean, yeah, let's get some training in. Whoa. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow. This is awesome. This is awkward. Wow. Whoa.
Okay.
Ah! Yeah, the kids! Yes! Yeah. These are his managers. Yeah. The chief essentially is like, sick the kids on him.
Well, and I love how it was like all this like serious like smack talk, you know, all right, yeah, who's really best? And then a bunch of kids come around.
Yeah. Ah!
Dempsey Roll が通用しないって。
All, yeah, how many seconds of it?
A minute and 7, I think, is what they said.
構わず前に出た。相変わらずの強気だ。挑戦者ロープに詰まった。チャンピオンはまだ手を出してない。気迫に押されたか。いや、それだけじゃない。ああやって。
Whoa.
撃つぞって合図してるんだ。素直に手を出されるよりやりづらいよ。佐伯捕まった。
Oh, jeez.
そのような経験から来る予測じゃない。
He's like corralling them or something, like.
Yeah.
And then one smash uppercut. Dang.
Wow.
That's just how hard he hits and then how also technically good he is.
So is it that he'll be too fast for the Dempsey roll? Like, Ippo won't be able to get it going?
No, I think he's too technically sound, so he'll see through the movements. Because the Dempsey roll has to kind of wind up in order to get going.
ショックです。全日本新人王から1年半しか経ってないのに強くなる速さが異常ですよ。その原因は貴様。
Yeah, you're his dream essentially.
Okay.
試合を組む。相手はフェザー級チャンピオン、仙道武史。
All right.
Okay.
Doing it. How long until the fight?
Right.
Good.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh wow, he's determined that as well.
Well, judging by the OP, I get the feeling it will work.
Well, it might be an evolved Dempsey roll by that point.
Sure.
It'll change to something. Hey, you got the shades and the floaties and the... The mountains. Yes, yes. Deflated.
All
yes,
right.
It's the classic Japanese question. Do we go to the beach or the mountains? Well, if it's not the beach, then it's the mountains.
Uh-huh.
Watch out for bears.
But Takamura's right here.
Takamura's not old enough to be a bear. He's only like 21, remember?
Yeah.
23 or something like that. Yoshio.
Okay.
What is this? Neko-chan! What? What is this? It's love! It's... Whoa! Whoa! Ginpachi Nekota, okay. Oh?
ふもとからボクシングのビデオとスポーツ新聞は取り寄せとるだに。おめえだがに。それからその二人が。お、俺たちのことも。
Nope, he's gonna get the names wrong.
ロッキー・リンダに。日本人ですよ。篠田ちゃん、青木たちのことは任したぞい。はい。
Okay, cool.
馬が出るだに。気をつけるだに。
馬。今さっき看板が。大丈夫だぜ。ボクサーが3人もいるんだ。
No.
てやったらとっ捕まえてきたら。ほら、行くぞ。
I really hope they don't do that. They don't even try to do that.
Yeah, that would be...
That would not work. All right, Ippo.
Yep.
Jeez. Oh my god. He killed him. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Ah!
Some days you find motivation, some days motivation finds you.
The way to survive a bear in the wilderness is be faster than your friends.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if it had found you on the other side.
That's why he said to dash uphill as well, possibly.
明日からロードワークどうしよう。
心配いらんに。地元の熊よけの方法があるだに。
助かります。やるから熊鍋の用意して。んなへっぴり連中と一緒にするな。
頼もしいだに。
The way they just like, yeah, suck up, yeah.
どうしたんじゃこんな夜中に。
会長、
デンプシーロールは下がる者にはめっぽう強いが前へ出てくる者には分が悪い。それに加えて戦闘のあの圧倒的な手数と威圧感、それをするしない以前にデンプシーロールとはその技単体にあらず。
Okay.
Cool.
You gotta like set up for the Dempsey.
ジャック・デンプシーは技を繰り出すとき必ず相手を交代させておった。相手をも交代させる下準備から技への連携、そしてとどめ、それらが全て揃ったとき
Brilliant. 3 steps.
デンプシーロールは完成に近づく。に押し負けない下半身、体ごとぶつかっても当たり負けしない力、それをこの合宿で身につける。
Yeah.
はい。
So the Dempsey roll is more of just a finisher than a thing that you want to use all the time.
Yeah. Best way to do that would be to just survive long enough to get, you know, into a match. Wait, what? Is he having stuff attached to him?
Bells? Oh god.
Is that
Oh,
what
wait.
that sound is?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Wait,
No, I don't think
it wasn't
so.
actually.
No. Oh my god!
Wait. Wait. Seriously?
ひどいなもう。みんな置いてくんだもんな。
Wow.
迷っちゃいましたよ。
犬人騒がせな。
すいません。
帰り道教えてくれ。
Wow.
Yep.
What an adorable dog. Ah!
では今日はこの用意した練習内容にかかる。いいか。
Hachi the doggo, yes.
縦に4分の1か。せーの。
Alright.
渓流に下半身をつけてバランスを取りながらのスクワット。
Oh, dang. That's gotta be insane.
That's like, I don't even know what that would feel like.
That's gotta be torture.
スクワットは沈み込まないと効果ないだに。
Oh.
Yeah.
いけるだに。
Gotta get that range of motion.
こうだに、こうだに、こうだに、こうだに。
Ah, he's dead. Hachi saved him.
Yeah. But work on that range of motion.
高村君、じゃああと5往復行くよ。
よし。レーメンの音楽隊。
するつもりはなかっただに。
どうした
So cute.
元気ないようですけど。
みんなに迷惑かけただに。結構手伝っただけだにな。
迷惑だなんて。めったに人が来ないところだから仲間に入りたいんだろうな。
Aww.
じゃあ下半身を安定させるだに。
はい。
そして胸を張って一気に振り下ろすだに。
Alright.
すごい。
Oh my god. Old guy buff body reveal.
筋といえばパワーの源だ。
Back muscles are so hard to get like
Yeah.
this crazy there.
That's insane.
Holy crap.
鮮度を引かせるにはパワ
And
ー
he just
Yeah, yeah.
shoots it back in there.
でやってたとしても壊れてしまう。昔絶対悲観ボクサーさおって結局脳障害で引退。普通の生活さできるようになるまで5年かかったに。
This is him.
5年。
いや
This is him.
治らんかっただに。
Oh.
Yeah. This is his story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
ような大打撃戦には必ず代償さつきまとうに。君のような
Wow. Oh.
だからといって逃げるわけにはいきません。
ここはできてるというわけだに。
Nah, I don't know. If anyone can be prepared for the worst, you know.
Yeah.
この打ち合いは手だけじゃないだに。パンチを出さんでも出す方法があるだに。それさえ覚えれば手数さ今の倍。
Whoa. This is like a
Sendo was
riddle.
doing.
This is like a riddle. Like a
Like the kind of like feints and things.
yeah.
後で全員呼べ。いい機会だからみんなに話してやるわい。
パンチを出さなくても出す。手数を2倍にする方法。なんなんだ。一体。
Cool. So
Okay.
it's probably going to be something similar to what Sendo was doing
with the feints.
because he was not only doing the feints with his strikes that went to nowhere, he was like flexing his like lats and stuff, like
right.
like doing like little things to make them twitch and move, and
Right.
then he would react to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the way I thought of it initially was that he was corralling them. You know, the idea of a sheepdog running around the perimeter
Mm-hmm.
and kind of forcing them into an area
Yeah.
there. It makes it easy for the sheepdog to only have to move in specific areas because the other sheep are stuck there. They
Right.
can't, like, they won't all just immediately scatter.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if you could corral someone in boxing, like.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, isn't Psyche an outboxer? That was the whole reason why they thought it was going to
yes.
be like a much longer match. But then,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's all the counters and the
used to live with
sidestepping and what have you.
Okay.
All right, we got ourselves some new characters here.
Yes.
We've got ourselves into a mountains training mini arc of sorts, which I love it because it's the classic thing of like, beach episode. But no, you're wrong. We are going to the mountains where there are bears here.
And I love that
And dogs that look
Takamura.
like bears.
I love that Takamura is like, yep. Well, they were all kind of like this at the beginning,
Right.
But the Takamura is still thinking, yeah, I can take a bear.
Yeah.
I can take a bear.
Yeah.
You can't take a bear. It doesn't work.
No.
Bears are nature's monsters of unbeatable death, and trying to beat it with bludgeoning damage.
it's like punching a small aggressive whale.
Right.
Like the best
It
thing to
doesn't
do,
work.
the best thing to do if a bear decides that it doesn't like you, you can't run it, you can't outrun it, you can't outclimb it, you can't outmaneuver it. So what you have to do is you have to just get as big as possible, make like crazy noise, because it's usually there's nothing that works really.
Yeah.
And that this is the like do or die situation.
Right.
And they might be scared and back off.
They will F you up.
But the other way to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and this is basically the safer way actually, is you have some kind of, hopefully you have something on you
Yep.
that has like a backpack or something
Yep.
like
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say,
then you
yeah.
just hunker down in the fetal position and wait for it to be over.
Yep.
That's literally the best thing you
Yeah,
can
there
do.
was a guy who literally ended up in bear territory. The bear saw him, chased him down, and he was wearing a backpack. And he basically he got on his stomach, and then covered the back of his neck with his arms, and then the backpack covered his back. He had to do that twice, because then the bear lost interest. Thought he was dead, run away. He got up, started running as fast as he could.
Bear chased him down again.
The bear chased him down again.
Yep.
He had to do that again.
Yep.
And
he was so messed up.
There was an actual video of him basically being like, "I just called, the doctors and all that stuff. This is the situation that I'm in, like so that in case he was unconscious by the time he got to the hospital, they could immediately understand exactly what happened and whatnot." Yeah.
That PSA is brought to you by the Semblance of Sanity brothers. Don't F with bears. Okay.
Especially not trying to box them.
So now let's get to the actual episode here. We have ourselves a unique setup with Sendo being one that is being built up even more by having defeated Psyche. In my opinion, the one that was probably the toughest fight for Ippo, as far as the one that he most at the moment when he fought them.
Right. Like Psyche, Ippo's won all of the fights that he's been in, other than
Date. I still think that Date was one that he had a potential in, whereas in Psyche he just got lucky.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It was really something where it's like he kind of shouldn't have beaten Psyche.
Right.
But granted, if that happened, totally makes sense that he beat Psyche.
But that's because in a lot of ways, when you look at these fights, Ippo is growing constantly throughout them.
Yep.
So it's not that Psyche is the strongest boxer of all the people that he faced. It's
but as far as
at the time when he fought them,
for someone to go up against Ippo, he was the perfect person to go up against Ippo. And the thing is,
he literally countered him.
Right. So the fact that Sendo beat Psyche is not terrifying because Psyche couldn't take his punches, because of course he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that he was able to outmaneuver Psyche like that, because that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying.
That's horrifying.
Because even if Ippo's punches are a little bit stronger than Sendo's,
it's like if
Sendo is able to outmaneuver the most maneuverable person that Ippo's ever faced.
Yeah. And it seems like what they've done in the more recent fights is they've introduced more advanced techniques with regards to upgrading the stakes of the boxing match. Not really the stakes, but the abilities of the boxers and what have you. So rather than have it being a thing of who's faster, who's stronger, who has more endurance or what have you, it's who's utilizing techniques in the most intelligent way.
Yep, some trick or something or other to gain the advantage enough to make them win. Yep.
And it's really exciting like that, because then we can start to see that there is a little bit more thought put into the boxing than we would have expected, 40 episodes ago or what have you.
Yep.
So this fight will be decided based on who can out-technique each other, since they are, and I think this is a perfect fight to show it, because they are literally the closest thing we've seen to the mirror boxer.
Yeah.
They made a point of it when they first fought. You guys are basically the same boxer. You guys do everything almost exactly the same.
They even had a point in their original fight where they were throwing the exact same punches and just slugging it out,
Yeah.
And it was great.
And this is something that's rather fascinating about this rematch here, is that this is coming off of both of them feeling like they were robbed of a real match ending in their previous match, which gives them both a lot of motivation. But it's exciting because for us, I thought Ippo did a good job in that previous match there.
Oh, yeah.
But when Sendo kept going, when he was unconscious, there was this dreaded fear that came over me of wait, but that's illegal. What is this guy made of? And the idea that maybe Ippo did get a little lucky there too, and this is the brass tacks. Let's go.
Right. Well, in the I'm so glad they showed us again that part where Ippo or Sendo sat down and just didn't get back up, but he was still in that death stare, because. Oh man, just thinking back to that fight, that hit so hard because we were cheering so much for Sendo, and at the same time the idea that he has pushed himself so far that he was unconscious for most of that previous round, and then he just sits down and
he's just done.
and it's just, you know, that's it, right? So like, because I feel like that's a really good way to help us remember just the kind of person Sendo is, since we haven't seen him fight in a long time. Because they had the fight with Vogue, but that was something where the fight went really quickly, and I feel like it was maybe like because it went down to the points and everything and all that stuff, it didn't fully give us a chance to see Sendo at his maximum potential. I feel like, you know, So seeing where, like reminding us just how terrifying of a fighter Sendo is, and oh, by the way, he's gotten better. Oh, and by the way, the thing that Ippo most had to worry about, maneuvering and stuff, and, you know, the person that perfectly countered him, he countered that person at their own game.
Yep.
Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
I want to go back to the corralling thing, because I love the idea that we brought it up here with, was it Nekota? Because there's 2 trainers on the mountain, right? There's
Well, now that Kamogawa's up there.
Well, no, there's 2 old guys though, right?
I think it's just Kamogawa.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, either way, when he's talking to him about chopping wood, and he's talking about punches that aren't necessarily punches, basically punching without throwing punches, I'm like, well, that sounds exactly like what Sendo was doing in the match against Psyche there.
Yes, definitely.
But then when I think about what kind of what that kind of means in this specific instance for Ippo is that he's looking for a proper way to set up the Dempsey roll.
Right. Yep.
And I would think that the main way to set up the Dempsey roll would be to push Sendo into a reactive state.
Right, which
I actually think... Actually, no, I don't think that's actually as difficult as they're bringing it up to be.
Okay.
I think that one of the things that will be terrifying about Sendo is that in the beginning, they'll both be pushing. They'll both be pushing really hard into it.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be even a shot at getting the Dempsey roll in there.
Definitely not.
But I think once fatigue starts to set in for both of them,
I
think Sendo will be reactive like 50% of the time. Like,
sure.
Like,
well, the question is that I feel like by the time, because it will get to that point, but will Sendo, because of his maneuvering and his ability to feint and all of that stuff, will that win him the early game enough so that when fatigue sets in, he's not as fatigued as Ippo?
That's literally the game.
Right.
I think that's literally going to be the game. Is that the way he says you punch without punching, you can end up doubling the number of punches. What I translate that to is, do these things that you're going to learn here, whatever they are. There's a number of them probably.
Yeah.
Then when you actually strike your punches, they will mean more and they will land more often.
Right. Yeah.
Because you did XYZ things.
Yep. You basically used up their ability to dodge on things that weren't actually punches, and then you're punching at the right time.
Which means that you're exerting force when it means something, and they're exerting force when it doesn't mean something.
Right. Yep.
Now, I think Sendo is literally going to do the exact same thing to Ippo.
Right. And he's already demonstrated that he's really good at it.
But I would say the reason why he's really good at it is not because he's actually that much better than Psyche. It's that Psyche didn't grow at the rate that these 2 boxers did. Okay. Psyche didn't have a great motivation that carried him forward in this fight here.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going for a title. I'm going for the featherweight title. I'm number 2. This makes sense. Like, Sendo is like, I am thinking of an entirely different match right now. All I have to do now is just showcase to Ippo that I am like way stronger than I used to be.
Right.
And boom, defeats him in 67 seconds or something.
Yep. That's crazy. Or wait, no. 1 round. Or wait. Or no, yeah, it was in the first round. Yes.
It was in the first round. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So just over a minute, he ends up knocking him out, but he was specifically going for the knockout.
Yeah.
Now, what I think that means is that those technical moves he was doing there won't really work as well on Ippo. They won't work as smoothly because he's not going to be able, with his punches, to go for a knockout in round 1.
Well, and also,
Ippo's just stronger than Psyche.
Well, and in the... Like, I feel like in the situation where Ippo was going up against Date, he was not fully prepared. right? There were things that Date brought in that they weren't able to properly prepare Ippo for, and maybe they could have if Kamogawa had thought about it more. Sure. But because Date was so experienced, he could bring in like his repertoire of things that he could use.
He was Batman.
Was Batman, right? He had the utility belt. There's no way Ippo could have prepared for everything, right?
Yep.
In the case of Sendo,
right,
his tricks of the trade are a lot more open, so Ippo can prepare for them, and you know. That will be very meaningful.
And he literally gets to watch Sendo do matches like the one against Psyche. So he gets to see these kinds of things in action. Well, Sendo is also watching his matches, like his comeback match where he does the Dempsey roll, and it worked really well. I think, again, as a technique that the boxer they were up against did not expect. So in this case, I don't think it's going to be that big of a game based on the feints necessarily working as well, but it's going to be a fatigue game, like you said, in that we're going to get this down to the long drawn out match between the two of them, where they're both literally like barely able to like hold on at the end of it there after they've all delivered tons of punches, but then they're going to
and then it's going to be finished probably by the
Dempsey roll. Yes. And that just makes sense. Yeah.
In a lot of ways, you might actually be able to say that Sendo demolishing Psyche like he did was actually a mistake. Here's why. Sendo would have been able to defeat Psyche without that ability, I think.
I don't know.
I mean, he might have had some trouble, but I think he would have been just fine. The thing is that because he used that whole taunt thing, or not taunt, feint against Psyche, and to that extent, that is something that won't be very effective against Ippo because they're going to focus on it like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So
I get what you're saying, that he revealed the technique, you know?
Right, and if because I mean, okay, Ippo's probably going to beat Sendo, right? But I get the feeling that if Sendo had that still in his tool belt and hadn't revealed it, when the match with Ippo comes around, it would have been a repeat of Date.
Okay, possibly. I think that in some ways, just because you see a technique doesn't mean it's actually the full scope of the technique.
Definitely.
And one of the things that's really, really freaky about Ippo is that he even notices some of these things. And I would say that that's more for our sake rather than for what's going on here, because I almost guarantee you that when Sendo starts doing feints, Ippo's like, yeah, I've seen that one, I've seen that. Whoa, that one just threw me off entirely. Sure. And then Sendo gets to wallop in like 5 punches all of a sudden. Yeah. So I don't think that a feint is necessarily just a specific way of doing it. Like,
right. It's not going to be rendered completely ineffective.
It's a mental game.
It's going to be less effective, but it'll still help Sendo a lot.
Right. And even if Ippo catches it, the fact that he essentially beat Psyche with taking 0 damage, which let's trade this off here. Let's say he beat him in round 3 after taking a bunch of damage.
Right.
He didn't need to take that damage.
No.
And he wants to face Ippo like now, so
that's a good point.
I think this is all a confidence builder of he being like, yeah, serve me up Psyche on a silver platter.
Right.
This is my I can do this. Yeah. I am unstoppable. So I think this is a mental battle that he's winning already. This is a
mental battle with himself, rather a mental battle against Ippo.
Exactly. Yeah. So him doing things like him talking to Kamogawa and be like, the Dempsey roll won't even work on me. He's already playing the game. He's trying to win now.
And I guess if you think about it, like when you're the champion, that's the kind of thing that you want to do because you're defending your title. So you don't just want to win because the natural inclination is that you're going to win because you're the champion. Yeah. You want to win with spectacular style, right?
Now, I have a question for you. Did you catch that bit there where they were saying that this isn't a match that will determine the title? This is just a match that they're having, the two of them?
So there was the part where Ippo said, I don't care if it's a match I wouldn't even care if it was for the title. But he did say, I want to take the belt.
Yeah, he said, I want to take the belt. That was this one here.
Hold
on.
I think it is a match that determines the title.
Okay, then it doesn't. See, that's the thing. It's not a defending match, though.
Because
that Ippo's not challenging.
Right, Sendo's challenging, which is very bizarre for the challenger to challenge someone that's a lower rank. Yeah.
Right, so that's why I'm thinking that this is a...
Well, I think the reason why it's rare is because that's essentially them jeopardizing potentially their position needlessly, right? And that's why it's hardly ever done.
If it means I can fight Sendo-san, I don't care if it's a non-title fight. See, that's what I think. I don't think this is a title fight. I think it's because...
Well, we can check once we're done here and figure out if it actually is or not.
For sure. I was just saying that would be rather cool then, because then the results of this match aren't as big of a deal in the career boxing style of things.
I feel like
is.
Well, the other reason why I'm thinking that just from a meta perspective this would end up being a title match is because Ippo's already done one title match already and he lost. So I wouldn't think that he would do another title match that he wasn't going to win, and if he's going up against the champion, you might as well make that the title match, because otherwise it can kind of like it reduces the stakes of this fight, you know?
I think when you get enough ego involved in it with these two boxers, they really, really want the match almost regardless of whether or not they win, because they both think they're going to win. But they both really want it because of how great the other boxer is. So I don't think a grudge match with, some probably career, because it goes on their rankings probably, is outside of the question, because let's just say this is just a building up of a rivalry. Like, a building up of a rivalry. Like, Ippo is like, cool, we fought. I beat you. And Sendo's like, yeah, fantastic. I'll see you in, 6 months or so when you finally worked up till you're actually at my level to challenge me for the title match. I'll have new things in my repertoire that you won't even know about then. But I just feel like I feel like it doesn't make sense from Sendo's case to risk the title in any way by challenging someone else.
Well,
unless it's a thing of where he's trying to win a psychological battle and say, Ippo, I'm going to just beat you down here because I feel like I'm at the top of my game.
Well, yeah.
And then you won't ever challenge me again, which, again, that doesn't make sense. Ippo would just challenge him again later.
The main issues that I have with it is that then, because Sendo is also doing this so that he truly feels like he is the rightful champion, right? Because the match with Volk was decided by points.
Right. Yes.
So I feel like if it's something... And in a lot of cases, because they're both people that kind of didn't get the title in ways, right? Because Sendo doesn't feel like he truly got it, right? Yeah. And Ippo almost beat Date, right? And then lost, and then Volk and Sendo fought for the title, right? But the idea, but there could also be this idea of, but Ippo, maybe Ippo would be the better person to fight,
to take this from,
And just the idea of then it'd be setting up something where Ippo would need to fight someone for the third time when I don't think he's ever fought someone twice yet, other than this upcoming fight with Sendo.
Miyata? I'm pretty sure he's technically fought Miyata twice.
He might have.
But it might have been just, practice matches.
Right. There was the one practice match, and then there was like the official match later. Or did he not even get that? Because Miyata lost to Mashiba.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Ippo has technically had a rematch then. But I would say that if we're going the distance with Ippo as a character, he's going to face the same person multiple times.
Definitely.
Yeah. Often.
But I don't know. I guess I just feel that the next stage for Ippo is being the featherweight champion. Yeah. And then he can look for things like,
right,
world title and things like that.
I loved Nekota's back muscles.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Reveal. It's the classic old guys got actually super jacked, muscles and things. But this is another thing that was really sad here. I almost immediately clued into the...
Yeah, you were quick on that.
He was telling about his story that there was a boxer who would go all out and destroyed himself, essentially, and then eventually forced to retire due to brain damage. But it took 5 years to learn how to function normally again. Yeah. This guy's old, right?
Yep.
This guy's over 70 or what have you. And he's out here, he's alone. He has his dog Hachi, but there's this, I don't know, this wholesome thing I feel of just having someone that went for everything, nearly lost everything, regained back up to baseline, and now kind of teaches others and uses that journey, that story to maybe channel a lot of their own energy and drive in order to help others. I feel like it's just really inspiring.
And apparently he coached Japan's first world featherweight champion.
Yes, that was mentioned when they first introduced him, right?
Yeah, and I believe they said featherweight. I might be wrong about the weight class, but
yeah, what does he say? This gentleman is Gimpachi Nekota. He says he named this lodge after Japan's first world champion, Yoshio Shirai.
Gotcha. Okay, so he named the lodge. Okay.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say I didn't know if he trained him there, but
because I was gonna say if so, that is a great way to sort of build up this person as like a trainer that you have to take seriously. But of course, then if that was the case, why is he out here in this lodge?
Yeah, they did a little bit of foreshadow, maybe build up for Takamura's next match.
Yep.
Which that could be a cool additional thing to have in between a Sendo and Ippo match and then the training.
They keep building up this idea of like Takamura has matches, you know, and then the matches that he has are over like real quick, you know, right? And it's like I feel like they're building up to the eventual point when Takamura has a match that's like a really
intense one where he actually has to like really work hard,
where they actually spend like more than one episode on it, you know. And I'm excited.
I don't know if they'd ever do it more than one episode because I feel like,
but maybe like one full dedicated,
like one full 18 minutes at least of the episode. So like there's the build up and the epilogue kind of bit at the end,
right. But
like 15 minutes of it or something is the actual fight. That would be legit.
Yeah.
Because in some ways he's like their god that they all look up to, and they're like, Takamura, you know.
He freaking punches the bag, and it lifts Nekota over like off the ground, oh my god.
I mean, I think that's something Ippo could do though.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I just think it's more of a thing.
The guy probably doesn't weigh that much,
right? I think it was more of a thing of where that one punch made Nekota be like, okay, I'm done.
Bad idea.
That was good. Like he's wearing that brace, like belt kind of thing with padding and stuff. I'm like, that's genius. Yeah, it's a good thing to wear. But then it's like, oh no. But yeah, here there be bears. So everyone, be careful
because don't mess with bears.
Where there's bears, you might know to prepare. What?
Well, to be fair, even though they're rare, you might want to prepare for the werebears there.
What? They travel in packs. Yeah. If you get that reference, you're cool.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show. There's anime-onlys in there. There's manga-onlys, manga people in there. You can talk with us about any other type stories or what have you, like Jacob's sci-fi novel that he wrote.
Yeah, so it's not very similar to boxing, but if you like sci-fi, I wrote a book called Battle Lines, and it's really cool, and it's available for purchase on Amazon. Links in the description down below. It's in both hardback and ebooks, whichever one works best for you. Go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.